Hello, and welcome back to another recap video that will cover everything you need to know about a show very close to my heart, Avatar: The Last Airbender Season 2. Now see, I know that you know that I know that you know this show. You've probably seen it as a kid, or you at least watched the 2024 Netflix version when it dropped back in 2024, but either way, if you didn't know, Season 2 is being released on June 25th, 2026, and before you continue watching the show, there are definitely some things you might want to freshen up on so that you can enjoy this new season to the fullest. That's because Season 2 is where the story stops being just good and starts becoming something much bigger. In the original animated series, Book 2 was one of the major turning points for a lot of fans, including me, because this part of the story doesn't just include legendary characters who play major roles in the adventure, it also introduces villains who are smart as hell and a world that opens up numerous doors and raises even more questions for the viewers. And trust me when I say this, there are going to be some points in this show that will seriously catch you off guard. So without any further ado, let's get right into the video. This section is specifically for people who are absolutely unaware of anything that happened in the original show, or people who just want to refresh their memory and, think about the good times. The main story goes something like this. The entire world was divided into 4 distinct nations: the Water Tribes, the Earth Kingdom, the Fire Nation, and the Air Nomads. They were divided this way because certain members of their population had the ability to bend that specific element, like water, earth, fire, and air. In this world, there was only one person capable of bending all 4 elements, known as the Avatar, but nobody had seen the Avatar in a century. During this time, the Fire Nation waged war on the other nations, and the most devastating attack happened when Fire Lord Sozin used Sozin's comet to wipe out the Air Nomads in an attempt to stop the next Avatar from rising. The only problem with that plan was that the Avatar had already been born. He was a 12-year-old boy named Aang. Unbeknownst to the Fire Nation, Aang had been trapped in a block of ice for 100 years until he was found by siblings Katara and Sokka. Imagine how dreadful it was for him to wake up and find the entire world on fire, literally and emotionally, and also he had to learn that his entire people had been wiped out while he was gone. This isn't just the character's backstory, this is the burden he has to carry for the rest of his life, and it's also the heart of the show. One young boy destined to be almighty, hunted while trying to protect everyone, including the people trying to kill him, at least as much as he can. What happened in Season 1? Season 1 of Netflix's Avatar: The Last Airbender, inspired by Book 1 Water, was entirely based on Aang actually finding his footing in this broken world. When he woke up from his century-long nap inside the iceberg, the first 2 people he met were Katara and Sokka. Now, even though these guys look a little weak in the beginning, by the end of things, they're clearly 2 of the most important people in Aang's story. Katara and Sokka are a brother-sister duo who belong to the Southern Water Tribe, so, understandably, Katara is introduced as a waterbender with humongous untapped potential. But to everyone's surprise, Sokka is introduced as a non-bender. Now, non-benders are more common than benders in the world of Avatar, but when you're traveling with the Avatar and fighting benders and going up against the Fire Nation, not having bending abilities definitely makes things harder. Don't let this non-bender fool you though, because what he lacks in bending ability, he makes up for with strategies, sarcasm, courage, and of course, unfathomable amounts of riz. The 3 of them, along with Aang's flying bison Appa and his lemur named Momo, end up forming what comes to be known as Team Avatar. Now, this team had one collective mission: somehow get Aang to the North Pole where he could find a proper waterbending master and take the next step towards learning the first element he needed after air. They thought it would be a relatively uneventful journey, but the one thing Team Avatar didn't expect was that the Fire Nation was actively searching for Aang. Specifically, it was Prince Zuko, the banished prince of the Fire Nation, who was hot on their trail. He had a burned half-face, a more complicated past than most people around him understood, and he was obsessed with one thing, and one thing only: restoring his honor by capturing the Avatar and bringing him to the Fire Nation throne. Now, you might think a character like this has to be completely out of control, and you'd be correct. Kind of. You see, Zuko was accompanied by his wise uncle, General Iroh, and trust me when I say this, their relationship is quite possibly the most beautiful and heartfelt relationship in the entire show. Not only was it complicated, it also showed a lot of depth and emotion at just the right moments as well. And then there's one character that personally we're not fans of, but we can't help but enjoy whenever he's on the screen. Prince Zuko's father, Fire Lord Ozai. Played by Mark Hamill himself, Ozai was the ruler continuing the Fire Nation's war, and there's only one character who feels like she can match that same cold-blooded intensity, and that's his daughter, Azula, who's also Zuko's sister. Azula is a talented firebender who possesses no fear, and honestly, Zuko has spent his entire life trying to be just like his younger sister. One thing about Azula is that she's terrifyingly unstable beneath all that perfection, because not only is she amazing at everything she does, she's also ruthless to the core, and each and every single move she makes is calculated to the end. Season 1 of the show ended when Team Avatar found the Northern Water Tribe, and Aang entered a terrifying spiritual state, calling upon a power so ancient and powerful that it was beyond anything he had ever accessed before. It was the only thing strong enough to drive away the Fire Nation, and that was only for now. By the finale, Aang had taken a major step forward by activating the Avatar state, but he hasn't mastered all the skills he needs just yet. The war is far from over, and he's probably the only one who can save the entire world. The one thing you absolutely cannot forget, Sozin's Comet. If any point of this story is a pressure point or a ticking clock, it's definitely this one. The reason we say that is because Sozin's Comet isn't just some comet that grants wishes. Instead, when this comet passes over the planet, it holds the power to absolutely supercharge every single firebender in the world, and you probably understand by now why that's not a good thing. This comet passed by around a century earlier, and that was when the Fire Nation used its boosted power to destroy the air nomads. If Aang doesn't manage to learn how to control all 4 elements in time, and also defeat Fire Lord Ozai before the comet returns, the war will be over, but the Fire Nation will most definitely win. The ticking clock is most definitely ticking, and every episode, every detour, every character moment, all of it is leading to the arrival of Sozin's Comet. What is Season 2 actually about? According to the information we've gathered and what we can expect based on the original story structure, Season 2 of Netflix's Avatar: The Last Airbender will follow the next major chapter inspired by Book 2, titled Earth. During this part of the story, Team Avatar moves towards the Earth Kingdom, which is a vast nation with extremely strong benders, because they've somehow been able to hold back the Fire Nation for many years. The team wants to find Aang, an earthbending master, so that he can master this element as well, but unlike the last season, this one's not going to be all about training. Season 2 has the potential to open up this world in a huge way. Unlike the water tribes and the air nomads, the Earth Kingdom isn't just one simple place with one clean identity. It's massive, complicated, and filled with real-life problems like politics, corruption, class divide, propaganda, and secrets buried deep within its walls. The exact location Team Avatar seems to be moving towards is the city of Ba Sing Se, also known as the Great Walled City of the Earth Kingdom, and the closer they get to it, the more we're sure our heroes are going to realize that there's something deeply wrong there. The new faces you need to know. This season, we'll be introducing our favorite character, the one who doesn't need all of her senses to kick everyone's ass. Allow me to introduce Toph Beifong, and if she's not already one of the strongest earthbenders in the entire series, she soon will be. And if you want to hear the kicker, well, she's blind. Completely blind. According to the lore, Toph taught herself how to earthbend by listening to the earth and by feeling every bit of vibration passing through her feet. In the larger Avatar mythology, this connection to the ground is exactly what makes her fighting style so special. Right now, she's supposed to be just 12 years old, but her character is so freaking good because she's not only lovable and complex, but her one-liners, rude attitude, and her zero patience for crap, especially when it comes to people feeling sorry for her blindness, are just too damn good. As the season progresses, Toph will eventually be the one who teaches Aang how to earthbend, and no surprise, she's going to join Team Avatar and change it for the better. Toph is the kind of character who just walks into a room and owns it. And of course, there's one other character who's going to get a lot more depth this season, and that's none other than the dangerous Princess Azula. If you consider Zuko the antagonist of Season 1, then Azula is definitely shaping up to be the clear antagonist of Season 2. There's just one major difference, and it's not the difference in their powers. Zuko did the things he did in Season 1 because he was desperate. He was emotionally wounded to such an extent that proving himself in this way was the only clear path forward he could see. But Azula is different. She's a naturally born hunter, and trust us when we say she's really good at it. As a hunter, she's precise, manipulative, and doesn't let her emotions take over her judgment, and this is what makes her far more dangerous than Zuko ever was. She has the potential to be more dangerous than anybody currently chasing Aang. And what about Zuko? This part of Season 2 might hit the hardest because for so long, throughout Season 1, Zuko's entire goal and journey was to prove to his father that he was worthy of gaining his love and affection instead of being viewed as an ill-witted failure. He didn't just want to capture the Avatar, he needed to do it in order to simply return to the place he called home. But Season 2 is where Zuko really starts to question it all. Like, is the Fire Nation even really his home? Is he willing to do every single thing he needs to do to get back there, even if it means destroying everything else by doing it? And then there's the most important question of all. What if even that's not enough for his father? What if all of this goes down the drain the moment he sets foot inside the Fire Nation? Zuko's arc in Book 2 is often remembered as one of the best character journeys in the original animated series, and Netflix now has a chance to bring that emotional conflict to live action. Slowly but surely, Zuko is evolving past being a simple villain, but that doesn't mean he's a hero either. He's someone who's yet to find his true calling and his true purpose in life. And how could we forget? His uncle Iroh is right there with him every step of the way. To be honest, if you weren't tearing up a little bit every time Iroh looked at Zuko like he was worth redeeming, Season 2 is going to make sure you cry at least once. Why Season 2 is where it all changes. This answer is simple, yet not so simple. Season 1 was just an introduction. Season 2 is where the series gets the chance to show everyone what its true worth really is. So far, the stakes feel huge, but still somewhat distant. Season 2 makes those stakes feel very real, sometimes too real for comfort. Every single character you love is going to be tested to their limits, and each arc is going to be upping the one before it. Ba Sing Se is almost within reach. Azula is still on the hunt, and of course, Sozin's Comet is still coming. Our heroes are definitely running out of time, so will they make it out in time, or will the Fire Nation make more examples out of them, just like they did to the air nomads a century ago? We're just gonna have to wait and see, but we're really hoping Netflix does this series justice, because if they mess up Season 2, there's no going back. Season 2 of Netflix's Avatar: The Last Airbender drops on June 25th, 2026. Mark that date down on the calendars because we're going to be bringing you a lot of marvelous content about the upcoming season. And, I mean, there you have it, guys. A full-fledged recap that tells you everything you need to know before watching Season 2 without, too many major spoilers. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button, smash that subscribe button, and ring the bell icon so you never miss another Avatar video from us. Also, drop a comment down below if you're as excited as we are to see our favorite Earthbender in action. Till we meet again, this is Team Marvelous, signing off.